Parents' perspective. It's very often that we keep talking about developmental disabilities without understanding a parent's journey. And the reason we have called Mrs. Fatima Sheikh here today as a parent is two. We have not called her so that we can boast about the work we've done. We've not called her to boast about the center that she has taken her child to. No. The reason is I have met many parents of children with autism over the last 20 years. I have seen some who boast about the work they do. I have met some who are always unhappy about the fact that their child has a problem. But it's very only once in a while that you come across parents who silently, slowly, in their own way, make a difference to their child's life, don't complain much. They're very regular with everything you advise them, and they're very sincere towards the child per se. I'm not bothered about sincerity towards medication, I'm not bothered about sincerity towards therapy, but they're very sincere and steadfast, and they have a lot of belief in their child. That's what she has, and that's why her son is doing so well today. So she is going to speak to us for maybe 5 minutes and have a 5-minute PowerPoint about her journey. And I think she will inspire you just as she's inspired me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Avinash. Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Dr. Avinash. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I want to thank Dr. Avinash D'Souza and Pediatrics Department of Sion Hospital for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I'm Fatima Sheikh. My son's name is Usaid. He's 17 years on the autism spectrum, and he is studying in 12th standard now. Mine is a small family. My husband is my pillar of strength and support, and my elder son, he's 20 years. I call him my angel. I cannot function without him. Today I would like to share that unique experience, to understand it, to imagine how it would feel. It's like this. When you're going to have a baby, it's like planning a fabulous vacation trip to Italy. You buy a bunch of guidebooks and make your wonderful plans. The Colosseum, the Michelangelo David, the gondolas in Venice. You may learn some handy phrases in Italian. It's all very exciting. After months of eager anticipation, the day finally arrives. You pack your bags and off you go. Several hours later, the plane lands. The stewardess comes in and says, "Welcome to Holland." Holland, you say. What do you mean Holland? I signed up for Italy. I'm supposed to be in Italy. All my life, I've dreamed of going to be in Italy. But there's been a change in the flight plan. They've landed in Holland, and there you must stay. The important thing is that they haven't taken you to a horrible, disgusting, filthy place, full of pestilence, famine and disease. It's just a different place. So you must go out and buy new guidebooks, and you must learn a whole new language, and you will meet a whole new group of people you would have never met before. It's just a different place. It's slower paced than Italy, less flashy than Italy. But after you've been there for a while and you catch your breath, you look around. And you begin to notice that Holland has windmills, Holland has tulips, Holland even has Rembrandts. But everyone you know is busy coming and going from Italy, and they're all bragging about what a wonderful time they had there. And for the rest of your life, you will say, yes, that's where I was supposed to go. That's what I had planned. And the pain of that will never, ever, ever go away, because the loss of that dream is a very, very significant loss. But if you spend your life mourning the fact that you didn't get to Italy, you will never be free to enjoy the very special, the very lovely things about Holland. I love this poem and I believe in it because I have met the most wonderful parents, friends and families from the Parent Support Group Forum for Autism, who have handheld and guided me on how to deal with autism and help my child after his diagnosis. What I also learned is that if I don't believe in my child, who will? If I don't understand him, no one will. And if I don't advocate for him, no one will. My son was diagnosed when he was 3.5 years. We went through all the emotions that every parent goes through after the diagnosis. The shock, the denial, and finally the acceptance. It's better not to waste much time in the first two stages, that is the shock and denial, and accept the diagnosis, because the first few years after the diagnosis is very crucial and it will help your child progress well with proper therapies. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means understanding something is what it is, and there's got to be a way through it. Please remember that autism is not a race, it's a marathon. After the diagnosis, I attended a lot of workshops, I read a lot of books. It helped me understand what is autism, how to help my child, how to deal with his behavior issues, and it empowered me. I believe that a parent is the best therapist because the parent is with the child 24/7 into 365. You know your child the best and vice versa. Family support is very, very important. Equal contribution of all the members will help in the well-being of the child. My husband used to come at night and he would ask me what therapy is left. He would feed him, he would put him to sleep. My son used to take him down to play with his friends for swimming, skating, to the garden. We used every opportunity to socialize with our relatives, especially his grandparents and uncles and aunts. This helped a lot because whenever there were emergencies, my son was comfortable with them, he was able to stay with them, and I was able to focus on the family member who needed me. Support from school is another important factor. My son's school life was luckily very good. It was teamwork with the teachers, the counselor, the principal, and myself, and this has really helped shape him up the way he is now. I believe in finding your child's strengths and nurturing them. Work on the weaknesses, but don't focus on it. My son loves music, arts, and recently he has started enjoying dancing, so I try to balance his likes with academics. I don't want to force my ambitions and my expectations on him. I will be happy if he turns out to be an independent, self-sufficient, and educated human being. I'm working on his life skills and independent skills for that. I respect my son's feelings and emotions. If he says no to something, I don't force him. I maintain a journal of his achievements, even the smallest ones. I call it my happiness journal. Whenever I feel low, I open that journal and I see all that we have achieved up to now, and it really gives me a boost when I realize how far we have come. Please do not compare your child with another child. Please compare them only with his or her progress up to now. As a parent, we are doing the best we can. I strongly believe that every child has come with his or her own destiny to earth. I would now like to share a short slideshow of my son. Thank you so much for listening.